Steve, so as I mentioned, we had trouble with the bilge pump keeping up. It did actually keep up, but just barely. Basically, the pump would cycle on for a minute or two, cycle off for about 5 seconds, run a minute or two again. So got some issues there. So as you can see, we're tied up here on the trailer. We're as far forward as we can get. And what we're seeing is down under here, there's the skeg, and you can see that the skeg actually comes back inside this pocket here. And if I was to have some light, which I don't have, let's see, I've got my phone with me. Let me see if I can throw some light on this with my phone. Yeah. So I'm showing this area with my phone here, and you can see that this has been going on for a while. You're probably aware of it. I'm probably not telling you anything new, but the paint's been knocked off. It's all rusted up there. So right ahead of where this skeg mounts inside the boat is a crack in the keel. And let's see if I get crawled under here. So I've turned on my panic button on my keys. So anyway, all right, got that handled now. All right, so as you can, whoops, I got the light on. Okay, now as you can see right here, there is a crack in the keel. Let's see if I can put this light underneath. There we go. Right here is a crack in the keel. Now it's pretty well soaked. Since this is soaked up, it is pretty well soaked up. It's pretty well closed. So we might be able to put this boat right back in the water and the bilge pump keep up just fine. We just didn't have time to mess with it for the show. The other places that we found leaks was right along the keel. All the rest of the planks seemed they weren't leaking, but right along the keel we had a leak. But I'm suggesting that we just maybe move the skeg back, not change the trailer, and we put some extra reinforcement on the other side of the keel inside the boat, and seal it off the way this skeg is sealed off with caulk, and we seal the whole shooting match off with these bolts in the skeg. Will help to hold everything together. We'll have a backing block on this, and we'll move the skeg back just a little bit. I don't know that will change the performance while you're water skiing appreciably, if any at all. So we need to do that, and probably need to do that before quickly enough that we don't have to explain that issue to a prospective customer. So anyhow, other things that we probably ought to do to help doll it up, and oh sure, yeah, here, show the crack on the inside.
And this crack on the inside runs. You can kind of see it going underneath the bilge pump, and we don't know how far it stops from underneath the bilge pump. And you can see it along there in between the bolts for the skeg. So it actually runs in front of the skeg and stops at the back of it. That's awful big crack. You know, if you try to fill that crack with epoxy, next time you put it in the water and that swells up, you're going to make that crack even bigger, and it's going to become longer because that epoxy won't flex. So, anything else you want to say?
No, probably just fill it with 5200, try to pull it together, and then put a backing block on it. Put our skeg through it. Move the skeg forward. I get backwards but move the skeg forward, and that should be a pretty quick and easy repair that'll solve that problem. So, the other thing I did want to cover was, at some point before we got it, this deck had been damp for maybe in the rain for a long period of time, and that softened this caulk. The deck expanded, pushed the caulk out. We really ought to fix those caulk lines and put a coat of varnish on the top, and that will help the sailability, and we might be able to, I think that'll help us command a higher price for it. So anyway, that's the video I wanted to share with you, and just let us know, and
we can get started on this, and we won't mention to the prospective buyers what's going on. I said the existing buyer, we might show them, we just tell them we had a repair we had to make, and the price has gone up because he snoozed. That would be handy. Anyway, that's where we're at. Talk to you soon. Bye.